Namaste. It is Sampradana Charitable Trust, Mysore. As per the request made by so many, I am going to give you a small lecture on sorrow, sadness, misery, diagnosation, analyzation, and spiritual way remedy. Sorrow is a mental attitude. It happens in your mind. What is a sorrow? How the sorrow comes? Why sorrow is more and happiness is less? Okay. Normally, all human beings are searching for the pleasure, for enjoyment, happiness. That is the major motive and cause for the survival of the human being. Each and every person creates a thought or some thought created in the mind. The thought has been converted into desire. Once you develop a desire, automatically the conscious brain, the conscious mind, it activates the pancha indriyas, five senses, to activate certain action and gain the pleasure. Whether you gain the pleasure or not, an attempt is made. If the attempt is successful, whether it is a meager happiness or a major happiness, success is always allied with happiness. But the attempts failed on so many occasions. You face sorrow, misery. Each and every occasion you fail, automatically you develop misery, worry, mental worry, sorrow. But in another way, if I want to say, even if you are successful in your activity, you don't feel happy. You don't feel happy. Why? For instance, I own a Maruti. See, I want to say some desire has crept in my mind to purchase a car. To purchase a car. Okay, whatever resources I have, I got a Maruti 800 car. After driving the car for some time, automatically I want to go for some other better version. Automatically the cost of the car will be more than the present car. Even if I dispose the car, I get only 50% on the value of the market value. The rest, balance this thing, I got to search for some other source of this thing. Then it starts misery. Even after possessing the higher version of Maruti, like Alto or Swift or some other car, you are not satisfied. Again you want to go for some other brand, some other company car. The wants are unlimited. Unless otherwise you have the contentment, you develop sorrow. You develop sorrow. This is the mental attitude. And spirituality, we say persons who are ignorant. Persons who are ignorant, they develop sorrow. What do you mean by ignorancy? Is it concerned with literacy? No, it is not concerned with literacy. It is concerned with the spiritual wisdom. Spiritual wisdom. Once you gain the wisdom, automatically you know in and outs of the human life. In and outs of the human life. You should know about yourself. First, you should know about yourself. Once you get enlightened, once you get the wisdom, automatically your mind is being balanced. Being balanced. Whatever you have on hand, accordingly you live. In Sanskrit, we call it as pratyahara. If you have something, enjoy it. If you don't have something, don't enjoy it. Pratyahara. Okay, this is one category. Another category, unless otherwise you had a misery or sorrow, you don't know what is happiness. You don't know what is happiness. Unless otherwise you have a happiness, you don't know what is misery. So the misery and happiness both are two sides of a coin. You cannot have the entire life misery, or you cannot have the entire life full of happiness. Life is mixture of happiness and sadness and happiness. Every attempt you fail, you develop a sorrow. But every attempt you fail, you learn something. You gain some wisdom, you gain some knowledge. A person who fails a number of times, he becomes an intellectual. In the sense, he becomes enlightened. And sorrow automatically goes off. He will plan accordingly his life, future life. Accordingly, he lives. Okay, this is one category. The life is full of sorrow. Okay, it is getting multiplied every now and then. It is getting multiplied every now and then. Unless otherwise you know how to take the sorrow out of the mind, it is very difficult to survive. You know, some people, they lose their interest life and they commit suicide. So that is the ultimate result of sorrow. A person who knows how to balance the sorrow, he only will survive for the whole lifetime. So the best guidance for bringing the sorrow down is you have your own friends whom you can rely upon. Some of your relatives, go to them, express your mental feelings, tell them what has happened, and accordingly they suggest something or advise something, or they express some other this thing. But once you go to some of your friend or some of your neighbor or some of your relative, start explaining the sorrows, whatever you have in your mind. Immediately they tell, your sorrow is better than my sorrow. You are lucky that your husband is, every month he is getting the grocery. Jolly well you can eat 3 times a day. But whereas my husband, he won't come to my house for 2 to 3 months at a stretch. It is very difficult for me to manage myself. Your sorrow is better than my sorrow. So don't feel bad. Like that they advise you and send you out. Here, there are 2 types of this thing, what you call treatment you receive from your friend. Number one treatment, they advise you or they tell you their own sorrow and they make you to pacify your mind. Number one. Second category, you yourself will feel. You yourself will feel whatever sorrow you have in your mind, it is nothing before your friends this thing. You yourself will diagnose. And then you make up your mind, this is nothing. This is nothing. Okay, this is one category. Another category, self-belief. Self-belief. Fighting nature. Determination. Determination to fight the sorrow, to fight the problems, difficulties. Difficulties and problems create sorrow. So if you have self-confidence and if you are a positive person, automatically you develop an attitude that you will fight out the difficulties and problems whatever you face in your life. This is one category. Another category, once you lose faith in God, automatically you develop sorrow. Till you have faith in God, you feel that God is so great and He will take care of your future as well present. Once you lose faith in God, automatically you develop sorrow. Next category, wholesome selfishness. Wholesome selfishness. You alone cannot live in this world. Either you have to live with the family, father, mother, parents, or live with your wife and sons or kids. Once you are living with somebody, you got to live for somebody, not for yourself. You got to sacrifice so many things. Your sister is not married, you got to support them. And your brother is pursuing his higher education. You got to support him financially. Your parents are not well, you got to take care of them. All these things are duties. Okay, once you try to exhibit the duty, automatically you got to face so many problems in your life. So many problems and obstacles in your life. Once you start facing all obstacles and problems, it develops misery or sorrow. Whether you are successful or failure, you develop a sorrow. Because the wants are unlimited. The wants are, if you are an individual, you are unable to fulfill your wants. When you are joined, when you are living with somebody else, you got to fulfill their desires also. So it is very difficult for you to thrive out in the world. This is one category. Now we'll still go deeper and analyze how the sorrow comes. Sorrows are nothing but expectations. If you fail in your expectation, automatically you create a big image or picture in your mind so that as if that you are going to get it. If you are unable to get that particular image, whatever you have stored in the mind, automatically you develop a sorrow or misery. What is a sorrow? Again, the sorrow is a thought. Sorrow is a thought. See, whatever bad things you did it in the past, accordingly, the karma you have, whatever you have accumulated in the past, the present janma you got to execute all the this thing, whatever things are assigned to you. So once you come out to the mother's womb, God will create a software, the past karma, whatever you did in the past, good or bad, that will be converted into a software and that will be put in the subconscious brain. Whether you want it or not, this is the base software. Accordingly, you are tempted to execute things, create actions, bad or good actions. If the bad actions are more in the mind, you got to do bad things. Accordingly, you suffer. Whatever you did good in the past, accordingly, so many good things will come out and you become a good personality and you gain happiness. This is karma theory. Whatever the software is kept inside the brain, accordingly, thoughts are created. Once thoughts are created, that will be converted into desire. Once the desires are arised in the mind, the pancha indriyas, the five senses of the body, start executing certain actions. Accordingly, you develop sorrow. The best way. So the main reason for getting sorrow is karma, past karma. How to take the past karma out of the mind? Only one way, meditation. How it is possible? What is meditation? It is a thoughtless stage. Meditation is nothing but a thoughtless stage. Once you train up your mind, automatically there won't be any thought inside the mind. There are plenty number of variety of meditation techniques are there, and I have given you so many videos on this. Accordingly, if you practice from today onwards, your thoughts will automatically subside. Whatever thoughts are being pumped by the subconscious brain to execute certain actions, the brain itself, the thoughts won't go to the five senses. The thoughts will be subsided or destroyed in the brain only, subconscious brain only. It won't come out. It won't tempt. It won't execute any actions through the pancha indriyas, five senses. Once actions are not executed, there won't be any sorrow. There won't be any failure. If there are no failures, automatically there is no sorrow and there is no sadness. You gain a balance in your mind. Good and bad things, you gain a balance. You are able to control the thoughts. Only you are capable of executing the good ones and the bad ones will be there only eradicated. As I told you, the subconscious brain records cannot be taken out very easily. But whatever the thoughts are created by the subconscious brain, once you start doing meditation, automatically you develop a thoughtless state. You develop a thoughtless state. The whole day, if you meditate for 25 to 30 minutes a day, whole day, whatever you did it in the 30 minutes, that will be carried over. No bad thoughts will creep up in the mind. So, if you take the karma out of the body and mind, automatically you develop a happiness in your mind. This is spirituality. I have given you so many videos on meditation, passive meditation, spiritual meditation techniques. Okay, this is a good day. Don't entangle yourself unnecessarily with problems and risks. Don't worry yourself. Don't step into a bad state. People, they lose their heart and they commit suicide. That day should not come. You are a brave personality. You are you got to develop the positive mental attitude. Once you start doing the meditation, automatically everything will go south. You try meditation, and then in case of any problem, I have given my phone number. Either you can contact me over phone or you can write your doubts. I will get you clarified. Thank you, nice of you.